Welcome to Waters World. I'm Jesse Waters. The left's credibility crisis, that's the subject of tonight's Waters Words. How many times have the American people been told one thing about Donald Trump only to have it been proven wrong? Let's start with the most obvious, the election.
In no part of your mind or brain can you imagine Donald Trump standing up one day and delivering a State of the Union address?
Well, I can imagine it in a Saturday night skit.
Right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Fresh off that embarrassing prediction, Donald Trump, quote, hired a group of prostitutes to defile Moscow hotel room where Obama slept. Sensational dossier claims. The media pushed that hoax, but it turned out to be fake news. And on February 14th, the New York Times had splashed this so-called scoop on its front pages. Trump campaign aides have repeated contacts with Russian intelligence. James Comey was asked about that specific article at this week's Senate Intelligence Committee hearing, and he said, quote, "It was not true." He went on to say this about whether there was any obstruction of justice.
Did the president at any time ask you to stop the FBI investigation into Russian involvement in the 2016 U.S. elections?
Not to my understanding, no.
Did any individual working for this administration, including the Justice Department, ask you to stop the Russian investigation?
No.
This is the president speaking. I hope you can see your way clear to letting this go, to letting Flynn go. You don't know of anyone that's ever been charged for hoping something.
I don't, as I sit here.
Speaking of James Comey, it was revealed that he was the source of the leak that sparked the Trump obstruction of justice narrative. Lawyers now looking into whether those leaks violated his FBI employment contract. Also keep in mind, the only item never leaked was information that supported the president.
The only thing that's never been leaked is the fact that the president was not personally under investigation, despite the fact that both Democrats and Republicans and the leadership of Congress knew that.
I don't know.
So now the Trump collusion and obstruction of justice theories have been debunked. You don't believe me? Even Chris Matthews said this about collusion.
The assumption of the critics of the president, of his pursuers, you might say, is that somewhere along the line in the last year, the president had something to do with colluding with the Russians. And yet what came apart this morning was that theory.
Is it any wonder the American people have lost faith in the mainstream media? According to the latest online Harvard-Harris poll, 65% of voters believe there is a lot of fake news in the media. So as the media loses credibility, the Democrats' unrelenting and conspiratorial anti-Trump agenda has begun to blow up in their face. The Democrats' push for Russia investigations has resulted now in Republicans expanding the probe to include unmasking of Trump campaign figures. Obama officials Susan Rice, James Clapper, and Samantha Power have all been slapped with subpoenas. And this week, we learned the two most high-profile leakers are James Comey and a nasty anti-Trump 25-year-old NSA contractor named Reality Winner. Then the Comey testimony actually boomeranged on none other than Obama Attorney General Loretta Lynch and the Hillary Clinton campaign. Here is what the former FBI director said.
At one point, the Attorney General had directed me not to call it an investigation, but instead to call it a matter, which confused me and concerned me.
Is everybody paying attention? Testimony shows that there was no undue influence by Trump people on the FBI investigation, but there was undue influence by Obama people on the FBI investigation. Everything we've been told about this entire story has turned out to be false, or the opposite of how it was sold. And in the president's first reaction to the hearing, he offered to testify himself.
Yesterday showed no collusion, no obstruction, so it was just an excuse. But we were very, very happy, and frankly, James Comey confirmed a lot of what I said.
This is why the left-wing media has been reduced to beheading, saying the N-word, and swearing at the president. So here the Democrats and the media stand angry, untrustworthy, and empty-handed. It's no wonder they remain out of touch and out of power.